Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about 5 things that I would do if you wanted to increase your score on the ACT. A 35 on the ACT without being a genius and without spending hundreds of hours on studying, and here's how you can too. Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how you can improve your ACT score. So tip number 1 is going to be start early so that you're able to retake tests. The number one thing that improved my ACT scores was taking practice tests, reviewing them, and taking more practice tests. So starting early in the application process so you have plenty of time to take multiple tests, plenty of time to take practice tests, and even in-person tests if possible, is going to be the most beneficial. Number 2. So this one might sound a little bit obvious, but it is to read the question and then read the question again. The ACT is a timed test, and when you're under that time pressure, it's really easy to read a question and kind of interpret it the way that you might have seen a practice question and not the way that it's actually written. And a lot of the ACT questions have these small wording differences that can cost you a whole point. So I really recommend read through the question, read the answer choices, and read the question one more time before you answer the question, just to make sure that you're answering the correct question. So tip number 3 is going to be retaking questions that you get wrong. So when you take a practice test and you score yourself and you see the questions that you got wrong, the first thing that I would do is review the answers and then take that practice test after you've scored it and seen the questions that you've gotten wrong. Attempt them one more time before you look at the right answer again, and give yourself as much time as you need to figure out those questions. Don't do it in a time limit as you did when you were taking the practice test, but just to review and see if you can get the content without the time pressure. After you've done that, and you still get it wrong, or if you get it right, I would recommend looking at the answer and really understanding what went wrong in that question and making sure you fully understand why you got it wrong. After that, I would recommend redoing those questions over and over again separately until you get them right. That really drills in those weaker concepts that you might be struggling with, and that way they won't be as challenging for you when it comes to testing. Now, this next one might be a little bit controversial, but I firmly believe that it is okay to skip a question and come back to it. So there's definitely a couple of caveats here, but in the math section, if a question is taking you longer than the amount of time that you have, I think it's 60 questions, 60 minutes. So if it's taking you longer than a minute, it's time to skip it and come back when you have time. And when you get to the end of a section, see how many questions you skipped. Like, I wouldn't go and skip all of them, but make sure that you're getting them done. But go back, try to allot a few minutes so you can go back and kind of pencil something in if you haven't got an answer yet. When it comes to the reading section or the English section, I would only skip questions within passages and try to complete all of the questions in a passage before moving on unless you're absolutely not sure. I will say whatever questions I would be unsure of, I would still pencil something in, but mark them so that at the end of a passage or at the end of the entire section for the reading section, I would be able to go back and change it if there's something that I'm looking at it with a new perspective this time. Right, and the last tip is that the ACT is predictable. And what I mean by that is it's going to be testing the same concepts and the same foundational knowledge over and over again. So what you really need to do is understand the types of questions that it's asking and making sure that you mastered those foundational concepts. What I would recommend is looking at the different types of questions it asks in a practice test for the math section, say, and seeing if there's any concepts that you're not as confident in, really brushing up on those. So leaving the practice test, maybe go to Khan Academy or YouTube, look up some videos and see how exactly you solve those, and that way you're much more firm in your concepts when you go and get those types of questions. All right, those are my 5 tips to improve your ACT score. If you would like more content like this, please like and subscribe and comment down below for more. Thanks.